The sound of a flat tire exploding on a quiet roadside can feel like the end of the world, especially when you're 16, alone, and already fighting back tears. That afternoon, under the bright golden sun of a restless weekday, a single dad mechanic named Marcus Hale had no idea that stopping to help a stranded teenager would change the course of his life forever. Before we begin, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet heroes who walk among us, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel Grandma Dearie. Your support keeps stories like this alive and reminds the world that goodness still exists. Marcus had been running late that day. The small repair shop he owned on the edge of town barely covered the bills. Ever since his wife passed away 3 years earlier, it had been just him and his 8-year-old son, Owen. Between school lunches, late-night fevers, homework struggles, and long hours bent over engines, Marcus carried the weight of two parents on tired shoulders. His hands were rough, permanently marked with oil stains that never quite washed out, but they were gentle hands when it came to his son. Every morning, he packed Owen's lunch with a little handwritten note inside. Every night, no matter how exhausted he was, he read him a story. That day, Marcus had just finished delivering a repaired sedan to a customer when he noticed a small blue hatchback pulled over on the side of the highway. One tire had completely given out, the rubber shredded and flattened against the asphalt. Standing beside the car was a teenage girl with long chestnut hair tied in a messy ponytail, her school backpack still slung over one shoulder. Her name was Tessa Vaughn, though Marcus didn't know it yet. All he saw was a young girl wiping her face, trying not to cry in the harsh daylight. He hesitated only a second before pulling over. Tessa had been having the worst day of her young life. She had just failed her driving test that morning. Her friends had laughed, not cruelly, but enough to sting. On her way home, distracted and embarrassed, she hadn't noticed the nail embedded in her tire until it was too late. Now her phone battery was nearly dead, and she had no idea how to change a tire. She felt small and foolish, standing there as cars rushed past. Marcus approached carefully, keeping his distance so she wouldn't feel threatened. His voice was steady and calm, like someone used to soothing scraped knees and broken toys. He assured her he ran a nearby repair shop and simply wanted to help. Tessa looked at him, noticing the grease-stained shirt and the soft concern in his eyes. She nodded. Under the bright afternoon sun, Marcus knelt beside the car. He moved with practiced ease, loosening the lug nuts, lifting the jack, replacing the ruined tire with the spare. Tessa watched quietly. She noticed how focused he was, how he didn't complain about the heat or the inconvenience. He even explained each step to her, showing her where the tools were kept and how to use them. There was no judgment in his tone, only patience. As he worked, Marcus thought of Owen. He imagined his son stranded one day, scared and alone. He hoped someone would stop for him too. When the tire was secured and the car lowered back onto solid ground, Tessa exhaled a breath she didn't realize she had been holding. She offered to pay him, fumbling through her wallet, but Marcus shook his head. He told her to drive slowly and have the tire properly repaired as soon as possible. Then he gave her the card to his shop, just in case. What neither of them expected was the phone call that would follow. Tessa had sent a brief text to her mother earlier, flat tire, some mechanic helping, I'm okay. Her mother, Captain Alana Vaughn, was a respected officer in the city police department. A single mother herself after a difficult divorce, she had raised Tessa with discipline and fierce love. When she read her daughter's message, her heart pounded. She called immediately, her voice sharp with concern. Tessa explained everything, the stranger who stopped, the free help, the patience. Alana had seen too much in her career to trust easily. She decided to drive to the location herself, still in uniform. By the time she arrived, Marcus was packing his tools back into his truck. He turned to see a patrol car pulling up, lights flashing briefly before shutting off. For a split second, fear tightened in his chest. As a struggling business owner who had once faced fines for minor permit issues, The sight of law enforcement always stirred anxiety. He wiped his hands nervously on a rag. Alana stepped out, tall and composed, her badge catching the sunlight. Her eyes immediately searched her daughter for any sign of distress. When she saw Tessa safe and unharmed, relief softened her stern expression. She approached Marcus cautiously. He stood respectfully, explaining what had happened in simple terms. There was no exaggeration, no attempt to impress, just facts. Tessa, standing nearby, confirmed every word. Something shifted in Alana's gaze. In her years on the force, she had seen selfishness far more often than selflessness. Yet here was a man who had taken time from his busy day to help a stranger and refused payment. As they spoke, Marcus mentioned his shop. He didn't complain about his struggles, but Alana sensed them. The faded logo on his truck, the careful way he described his business, the quiet pride when he mentioned his son. Over the next few weeks, Alana found reasons to bring department vehicles to Marcus's shop for maintenance. She told her fellow officers about the honest mechanic who wouldn't overcharge. Word spread quickly. Marcus's once-empty garage began filling with steady work. Police cruisers, city vehicles, even referrals from officers' families rolled in. For the first time in years, Marcus felt the